Hey, welcome to Craving Cars Live. I am Corey Pratt.
I am Chris Ruck.
And how is everybody doing today? How are you, Chris?
I'm doing good. I'm excited about tonight, you know.
Yes, here we are, official. It is, what do you got there? This is episode
official
2, by the way.
guest night. We'll go more into that, but it's official guest night.
That's some pretty green you got over there. I like it.
Yeah, you like it?
I like it a lot.
You know, we'll talk more about all that here soon.
Yes, well, we will. Well, what do we got upcoming today? We've got an awesome guest. I got a little bit of history with this guest. I mean, it's a little bit. It's not much, but it's obviously car-oriented, or it wouldn't be Craving Cars Live.
Yeah, and I thought you covered it pretty well, but it'd be interesting to touch base again. See if he even remembers you.
He did look at me like, who?
Right? Really?
I was like, hi, I'm Corey. I'm like, I've heard that name before. Like he's an actor or something,
like
right?
I
I'm like,
sped by you at some point.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
That's true. But welcome, Craving Cars Live, our second episode.
Indeed it is. It's an exciting time, an exciting episode, because this is our first episode with a guest.
Yes.
Since we just want to let people know what was going on last week, and here we are this week.
Yep. And we're in studio, I call it C.
I can see it. It looks great.
Don't know why, but that's what we call it. So
that's right.
It's a pretty big studio. You see the depth behind you.
Yeah,
it goes on forever.
It goes
but
on pretty
what's nice is, you know, we have guests back there. They're sitting back there watching the show, and probably more just entertaining themselves right now. But but it is kind of cool.
It is, and surprisingly, it's still usually big rooms have a lot of echo, and this doesn't.
No, yeah, I was.
So it's pretty good. Good choice there, Mr. Ruck.
I'll pat myself on the back.
Good choice.
That's right.
So obviously we have guests for how many more weeks in a row now, do you think?
We are all the way through May now.
All the way through May. Well, there you go. So
yep. Most live. Most will be in studio, just like tonight's guest. And then we have a couple that are going to be joining remotely.
Hey, that works. We're set up for that too.
Yep.
And that actually goes into hey, if you've got some cool things, you've got some cool stories to tell, you've got some awesome automotive-related things, whether it be, you know, cool builds, cool shops, maybe some charities that you're involved with. I mean, obviously, hook us up. Give us an email, cravingcarslive@gmail.com.
Participate in the show. But you know what I would just realize is our chat was disabled. So
well, that's no good.
That's okay.
That's no good.
That's okay. We'll figure it out.
Sorry.
That's all right. You can join us on
amateurs.
I know, rookies.
My goodness gracious.
Vimeo, we're streaming live, right? And then we're also streaming live on Facebook. So, Corey, you're going to monitor the Facebook chat.
I am
discussion area.
I thought I was on the Vimeo one
for tonight's.
Oh, great! I don't know what.
Yeah, but it's not live, so
I don't know what I'm doing now. See what's making me do. So, yeah, we're really kind of flying by the seat of our pants right now. How do you get to that?
Well, yeah. Well,
I'll look at it. We're good. We're good.
Well, that's what happens when we expand our channels. And now we're all over the place. So
yeah, it's okay. We're doing all right.
That's all right.
So, anyways, so do we not have live chat on Vimeo at all today?
Not today, unfortunately. Yeah, okay. I tried to disable the stream and then turn it on, but it's not working.
All righty. Well, worse things have happened.
That's all right.
I think.
You know what? There is a button that says "Learn how to use chat." Press here. I'm not going to do that, so we'll bypass it tonight. But you can chat with us on Facebook. Join the event page. Type it in on the discussion. You can do that as well. So
there it is. Yep, that'll work. Event page discussions. As a matter of fact, Chris, we have a website too, don't we?
We do. CravingCarsLive.com.
Wow, we're really making that easier for everybody. If you can remember the name of the show, you can remember how to get a hold of us and look us up later.
That's right.
It's just as simple as that can be.
Yep.
We got
the YouTube channel. So we have two, right? So yes. Craving Cars Live takes you to our platform that houses all of our library.
Yes.
And of course, the YouTube channel.
Which is Craving Cars.
Which has been long existing.
Yes, it's been around for a minute.
Yep.
And expanding as we speak. And growing, and anybody who knows me around these parts of Kansas City probably knows of Craving Cars, because we've handled both you and I have handled lots of events in the last few years. So
yeah, a lot more. And speaking of events, let's get into it. This Saturday.
Ooh, Saturday. What's going on Saturday?
Well,
Oh, I know.
yep. What do you got?
Do you know?
I do. I
Oh.
do. Geeks for Kids fundraiser.
That's right. Happy down at Stonegate Motor Plaza. And it's been a while since I've been down there, so I'd be really excited to get down there.
It'll be my first time there.
Oh, man,
know,
I tell you what.
you're breaking me
it
into
was
all kinds of
It was
firsts.
your first time at World of Wheels.
Right.
Cherry popped. And now, Stonegate Motor Plaza. And you're going to go
Yep.
there and go, this place has potential.
Yep.
And I want you to really look at it. And I want you to visualize a Craving Cars live show.
And make sure chat's open.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
we
like
can do that.
literally doing a car show there.
But speaking of which,
Yeah.
we will be there. We will be doing content coverage, right? Maybe not live for that.
We might be live, but we don't know 100% on that yet. So just bear with us, stay tuned with us. But we will definitely cover this because I've done a lot of charity event coverage. With
Geeks.
What Cars for Hopes KC. I've done a lot of Duran Cherry stuff. And put a lot of that stuff out there for people for awareness. Because that's the biggest thing. If we don't know about it, then how is anybody going to do anything about it?
Yep.
Right? But some people may not know what Geeks for Kids actually does.
Tell me about it. I know
So-
I know pretty much everything, but I think you know more than I do.
Well, this is a fundraiser that obviously they're doing this weekend, and ideally, why they're doing it, and this was unscheduled. They have other events that they're doing to help raise money, but a huge donor did pull out, and so they need funds to help keep building.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait, listen to this. Building cars for kids.
Custom Power Wheel cars.
Yeah. So some
Kinda
people
cool.
are like, well, a lot of people build cars. So Geeks for Kids is a charity. They help local children. They build custom electric cars for kids with limited to no mobility. So it really helps, kids get around. There are a lot of them that, typically they have physical challenges. Some are even unable to walk. Some can't even stand without some kind of aid of some type to help them get up. So this is a really, really cool thing that these guys are all doing. I mean, they're not just buying something off the shelf.
No.
They're building these for
them
kids
from scratch because
And
each
so they
one
need
has to be
funds.
custom built just for the client.
Yeah, and so ideally these are donated to these kids, right? So they need money to be able to build these, so they can give them. It's not like they're making a profit back to build more.
Correct. Yeah. Why build it if you're going to charge the family $3,000? I mean, it doesn't make sense.
No.
So,
So that's what the whole donor, that's what the fundraiser stuff is for. And each kid has a specific need, so they're building them, like you said, custom for each one of these kids. So
yeah, that's awesome.
they're going to bring some for us to look at of kind of what the things they've done as well.
I saw them last year at Chicane's open house. They were there.
Cool.
Which was very, very, very cool. We did. They did some Power Wheel racing there, and of course, my group, Kids and Cars, was there as well, and they're going to be there Saturday as well. So
Awesome.
kind of along the same lines, right? A lot of things Power Wheels, but more built off the shelf kind of a deal. But how do you get the kids active in the car scene, charitable organizations, things like that. So.
Well, when I was originally invited and to be told about this event coming out, I've got a name drop for somebody who's actually leads the Geeks for Kids, but Rebecca Kidwell.
Yes.
So it says that she would be very happy. We're going to hear from her at the show, get a little interview. So hopefully we can go live with that so people can see immediately and maybe find a way, if you can't make it to that show, what way you can actually participate in the charity.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I think that'd be a lot.
I'm
of
excited.
Fun.
I'm excited.
I think it'd be a lot of fun. Now we're still kind of, I don't want to say on our training wheels here. I mean, we do what we do, but as far as a live show and a podcast kind of thing,
I think we're on training wheels.
We're still kind of
we're getting it.
putting some things down, and probably at some time in the future we may have more particular type of topics and news.
I think our looks carry a lot of the issues.
Well, maybe if I trimmed up a bit.
Well, that's I was going to say something.
If I cost us a few listeners, I apologize.
That's okay.
What are you going to do, right?
That's all right.
However, there is something I kind of want to talk about.
What's up?
This is a long time subject people have been dealing with since the beginning of 2020. And
Let me guess.
oh, go ahead. Let's go.
Does it start with a C?
And ends with an Ovid.
Yeah, that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that one right
gotcha.
there. A little COVID.
All right, what do you want to go into?
So, Craving Cars. We started this Craving Cars before COVID, and in 18 and 19, they were events galore, right? I mean, I couldn't put. I think I was putting 50-something videos out a year, which was more than, in a sense, a video a week.
Yeah.
Of covering events and just busy as can be. And 2020 hit, and they had 2 events before COVID hit, because it was, it hit pretty early, and that was World of Wheels, because it was always to the beginning of the year, which thank God. So that way they had a 2020 World of Wheels and they didn't get canceled, at least in Kansas City. It got canceled in other places, and the Kansas City Auto Show. All right, and then those were kind of used to be the kickoffs to the cars. Hey, things are coming, winter's about over, so on and so forth. The thing is, we've been dealing with this for a long time. I feel like 2023 has got to be the first year so far where I feel like I know things aren't quite always going to be like they were, whatever the norm is going to be. I feel like we're closer to it now than ever, which means more cool car events.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Not everything's still the same, right?
No.
So is there something particular, some car-oriented things that hasn't been the same since COVID that you miss and want to come back?
Are you asking me personally?
Yes.
No. I'm kind of happy with the scene right now. I think it gave a break for people to get a baseline down, start knowing what they're going to want to do, and make more of a official kind of meet versus all the pop-ups, right? I mean, the pop-ups are a thing. They kind of took over because it was just, I got to get out of the house. I got to do something, right? The organized events just weren't happening, as you said, during COVID. Too much legal reasons not to do it. But the pop-ups happened. And then, of course, everybody being locked down, that just takes a lot of strain on people. And then, of course, a lot of the pop-ups now, you see it nationwide. I mean, just getting a lot of negative press. So, but the way I see things coming back now with organized events, I think I'm happy with it. I don't think I'm missing anything, but it's early in the season, though, too, right? Last year, to me, last year was really great. I mean, I attended I hosted 54 events last year, right? And every one of them was successful to a point.
Sure.
This year happened, and then it kind of went south. I think because everybody was locked in during the winter. What can we do?
Got
and
too
then
excited.
Too excited, and let's go out and just do whatever we want to do. So, but the organized events, I'm excited for.
Me too.
I wouldn't change anything.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you'd change anything, but it's like there's something that's not
I don't think we've been
happening.
doing enough to make that decision, right? I mean, we're just now getting started.
Well, I had certain traditions that I did every single year, and one of them isn't the same. It's never been the same, and they technically, I think, have it now, but it's at a completely different time of year, which has little to no meaning to me anymore. And that's one of the ones I just mentioned before, the Kansas City Auto Show. I've been wanting to go to like a different auto show, like a bigger, fatter auto show, like Chicago or Detroit or something of that sort. I hear New York has even got some pretty wild ones and stuff. But there was
I've never
something
gotten into those.
It was never. I mean, the reason being, obviously, you're not seeing modified cars. You're not seeing the things that we typically are in. But what you're going to see is what's new.
Yeah.
What's out, and then you get to see it all in one room, unless someone decides not to show up, which that's happened before. Yeah. Where like we went and like I think one year Toyota wasn't there. I was like at all. Which was kind of strange, or something like that. Yeah, maybe it wasn't Toyota; it was something like that. But it was something that happened at the beginning of the year. It was nice because then I would get to know what kind of cars are out and what kind of thing. And what a lot of people don't know is the auto show is what started Craving Cars.
Oh, really?
That's what gave me the idea 5 years before I actually started it to say, we walk around here. I got a particular friends that go with. And we would talk about the show afterwards. I'm like, I don't see any reason, we pick our best sedans and, our favorite, sports cars and off-roaders and things of that sort that show up at the show and just do a little discussion like we're sitting around a table with, snacks or a coffee or whatever. And we're talking hours about this. And I'm like, I don't know why we don't do this, just put a camera in front of us and just kind of go from there. And we did that. We did that a few years. And then Craving Cars blew up with events and I went way more deep into it than I thought I was ever going to get to it at that point. And then COVID happened. I had my last auto show in 2020 and there hasn't been one since except for, it's scheduled, I think last year but it was like in September. At that point I'm winding down and I'm only going to specific events at that point and that's not one of them because it's going on the same time I'm doing something else already. That's
Right.
that's been in the books for years, and that's one of the things I kind of, I don't know. I just thought I'd throw that out there, like we want to talk about COVID, because I guess I don't.
Can we go back to that world again? I
yeah,
mean, it's
yeah.
like, really, that we just got ourselves pushed out of it. But
It was pretty cool being able to cruise around the city with no traffic.
well, that's true.
That was probably it, though.
That's probably true.
But you couldn't even go get a coffee at Starbucks, so that sucked.
Yeah.
Free plug for Starbucks.
There you go. There you go. Hey, so apparently because I was checking out while you're talking, I was just kind of ignoring you, but
I do see something on here.
the chat is open apparently on Vimeo. It's just not working through the software that I have. So, but you can chat with us. So big shout out. We got Bard Finders in the house. They're going to be on the show.
Nice.
Yes.
Looking forward to that.
Wheels. He's going to be
Wheels.
on the show. So I appreciate you guys choosing us tonight. And of course, Barn Finders is really promoting Saturday's event. So should be a great time. I know they're expecting close to, man, last time I heard it was well over 200 cars. So
Yeah, me too.
yeah.
So
So that's awesome.
so we may be busy doing other things and interviewing that
Casey Exotics is really
may
helping promote that. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and I may not catch the whole show on camera just to let people know, but we're going to put a static
Yeah.
video out just of kind of the event as well.
Yep.
Not to mention the possibility of going live and
Yeah.
talking with some people. I think it'll be fun. I think so far they're over 10,000 right now raised for this event.
That's awesome.
So
Good for them.
there are some that have reached out that can't make it, that are big supporters of a lot of the people of like Chicane and some of these other ones that have always been big supporters for these groups, that have reached out to people that they've just kind of helped donate money.
Yep.
Regardless if they're going to be there or not. So, yay!
Yay!
All
Good for them.
excited. It's always fun. Which, you know what? I think most of the events that are charitable ones typically tend to be about kids.
And it should be. I mean, you got to, speaking of sponsors and everybody else, right? I mean, we've got a ton that are, interested. Friends of ours, I don't want to call them sponsors because they're not paid sponsors, but they're friends, supporters of what we do, which is awesome. And this list is so much bigger than this. So, but I did want to give a big shout out to these guys. They're always having our back on what we're doing. So I just want to give them a big shout out.
Yeah. Ooh, that one's cool too. What was that? Ooh, that's a Craving Cars. Pretty cool.
That guy.
Yeah, there's that.
I know, he's a hack.
There's that one person.
He's trying to hack into us.
Yeah. What else? What else you got, man?
Well, a countdown. We've got about 10 minutes before our guest comes on, and it's going to be exciting.
It's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to add
To what?
to anything?
No,
How's your car doing?
it's not.
Okay.
Why even go there?
I'm
already having to get a ride home from you tonight. A car to drive. It's sad.
I'm trying to be positive. Like it's in the works though, right? It's like
I know.
that step further. Like
I got 2 cars and a boat, and I can't drive any of them.
Do you know? Well, I wouldn't want to be in the boat right now, anyways.
Well, I know,
raining
but
outside.
Yeah, it's sad.
Well,
though.
do you have a estimated time of completion there, Mr. Rook, for the Radmobile?
No. Although I'm hoping by end of summer. That'd be nice if I can get it all done by then.
Yeah, it gives you
A lot
some
of
time
things
to
going
still
to
enjoy
have to go into it, right? I'm not swapping out a motor and putting another motor in and doing all that. I'm actually having it rebuilt with all new performance stuff, so I don't have to worry about these issues anymore. I'm not going to rebuild the original motor yet. I'm going to keep the original motor.
Yeah.
But the plan is I got a low miles motor, and I'm going to have all the timing issues and stuff, timing chains, things like that.
So you got a lot of parts going into this thing then.
A lot. Yeah. And upgraded parts too, not OEM parts, but performance parts going into it. So that's going to be great. And then down the road, I'll rebuild the original motor back to stock, and that way adds value to the car because it's still numbers matching. But that's the goal. I mean, that's ultimately the plan, but that takes a lot. It takes a lot. And I'm sure you know it when you start talking about rare motors, it's hard to find.
Yeah.
And then, just to make them right, it takes time.
Yeah.
It's not something you can it's not a head gasket you just fix tomorrow.
Could be.
It's probably months.
Could have been.
I'm really throwing my life and my money at Chicane. Brad's team, I know 100% will be able to take care of it. How about that?
Woo! Go
Yeah.
Brad.
Yeah.
And Chicane
Definitely.
and all that stuff. So No, they've always been great. And fun guys. And Brad's a pretty cool dude. So
Yep.
And he is not just an owner of a shop; he works in the shop.
And they have their race team. They do an amazing job. They've been really upgrading their stuff. So
Yeah, but he races with a BMW.
yeah, but it's German.
It's not an Audi or a Porsche. I mean, come on. I'm only saying that, Brad, because we're the only
Okay,
two
it's
in this
not
room
under the
that have an Audi
Volkswagen
or
umbrella. It's probably the only German company that's not under the Volkswagen umbrella.
We won't talk about Mercedes then.
Yeah. That's true.
Okay, there's two of them that are not.
Okay,
No.
there's two.
Oh, speaking of which, this Saturday at the event, we will be there with the rolling studio.
Yeah, what are we bringing?
The studio, yo.
They're going to bring the Mercedes Sprinter Storyteller van.
That's right. So it'll be easy to spot us because I'm sure we'll park it right between a couple Lamborghinis.
Probably sideways.
Make them look good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pop out the awning, set up the table, do our thing.
That's right.
It's actually supposed to be pretty nice, 60 degrees-ish.
The nicest
what
day
it's
of the
saying.
week so far, and I think the only day that doesn't have rain in the forecast. So let's hope it stays that way. My fingers are crossed.
Any news you're excited about in the car industry?
You know,
Anything you've heard? Anything you're doing? Oh, speaking of which, big shout out to Driven Radio. Right?
Yes.
They gave us a shout out,
they
and we are
gave us
so
a
excited to
shout-out.
have them on.
They gave us a shout out a couple days ago.
Yep.
Wished us all the best and said, "Good luck, suckers."
Yeah, just don't follow us.
Okay, he didn't say it like that. Actually,
No, exactly.
He said gave us a big shout out. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah.
Great guys. I already talked about. Chris and I already talked. I think we should have him on the show.
Yep.
And maybe we'll be on Driven Radio. I don't know. But if you guys don't know, Driven Radio Show was a podcast I had done I was part of for about 3 years. Moved away from them last fall.
Which is really what I think.
So-
I think this really stemmed us to talk. Not your separation from them, but
Yeah, there was no bad blood there.
no.
It was just
Yeah, you're great friends, and
The directions
yeah.
everybody was going.
Yeah, but we were
both
at
named
the
space.
Liberty Memorial show, right?
Yeah, it's a great car show.
Yeah,
Last year.
and they had a great setup.
It was
Right.
a lot of fun. So yeah, we did the podcast. Now they didn't do it live; it was recorded, but it was still cool that we got to interview people from the show directly. They come sit at the table.
Yeah, the live
We go
audience,
chat.
the people out in there didn't know that they weren't live. So,
Right.
But that's cool.
Yeah, and
I think that's what stemmed in my brain where this could probably go. So,
yeah, I think some of those kind of shows like that, and especially the van helped a lot too because it the powers everything. We got
It's
the awning,
eye-catching.
Put a couple tables out.
Yep.
And
stand on the roof.
invite people over and give them free candy.
Yep. Throw T-shirts
all
out.
that good
Do
stuff.
something.
Sorry, kids, no puppies.
Yeah. That's right. Well, no. So anything else you got coming up? I mean, no, I'd love to have them on, and I'd love to be on their show too. I think what we strive for is everything community.
Oh yeah.
KC car community, period. That's kind of what it's about, right? It's not negative towards anybody. I think anything you're trying to do that's positive is the right way to go.
I don't see anything now. Okay, so this goes back to there was another local YouTuber, and he had a YouTube channel. He'd grown bigger than me, and we were talking.
Corey. I know who you're talking
No,
about.
I'm talking about this guy. But he was talking about, we were talking and chatting and having a good time. He's like, well, technically you're my competitor. I'm like, whoa. What do you mean I'm your competitor?
Right.
I was like, no. I don't think so. I mean, not to mention his content was different than my content. He covered things that I didn't. I covered things he did.
Sure.
That's just how it was. But at the same time, even if we went to the same show, now I'll spot Wheels one more time, because one time he knew I was going to a show and he was afraid to go film it. I was like, no, go film it, Will.
Yeah.
I go, well, do you watch YouTube? He goes, yeah. I go, do you watch car shows? He goes, car channels and stuff. He's like, yeah. I'm like, and you only watch one, right? And he goes, oh no. Well, there you go.
There you go.
And everybody watches a big
Everybody has their own
variety of all
style.
that stuff. And I think if we work together and everybody's collabing with each other, we're all nice and popular and fun and
There you go.
friendly, and it's a good time because we're here to, Chris and I are here to support the car community in general.
Yep.
And
Hands
so
down,
that's
no problem.
Big reason what this live show is for too, is to talk about that.
Yeah, and bring on a lot of guests.
and to get people to talk about their stuff. And
Yep,
that's
for
it.
sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you know what? I think it's about that time. We're a couple minutes early, but I think he's got a lot to talk about. Should we get ready to bring him on? You think?
Well, let's do one little.
Or you got something else you want to talk about?
We're just gonna
Just make him wait. He's already sweating.
We're gonna front one more thing coming up,
right.
It's technically not until April, but you need a little bit of time. But we have the first Red Line Rally. I don't know that we're doing it or not, but we want to let people know it's aware. They've been a great supporter as well. They do a lot of cool events. They do a lot of, charity stuff for Kids for Cancer and all that kind of things too. So I think we have a little...
We do have a little snippet.
I
don't want to say I have music with it, but yeah, I do have it. Let me pull it up real quick.
Yeah, did you do a little test thing? Am I putting you on the spot live?
You are kind of, but that's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. I like
That's
how you
how I
do
like
that.
to do it.
All right, let me see. I don't even know if the audio is going to come across, but let's see. If not, it does.
I hear something.
There you go. All right. So just so you guys know, they got the Ozark Run coming up, right? This was from the South Run last year around Halloween, hence the theme.
Yeah.
But you guys need to check it out. If you've never, we talked about this. If you've never been on a rally, you gotta be on it.
Pick one.
Yeah. It just makes sense. Yeah, and our guest, he drives Cadillac. We'll go into that stuff, but all right, let's
friend of my family, it's Brady's family. Just really good people, and they fucking got engaged this trip. So.
Well, there you go.
Anybody missed dinner? That happened last
There you go. That's awesome.
Yeah, I tell you what, if you're a big car person and you like to drive, you like to exercise your vehicles, then there is nothing that matches the experience of a car rally.
Agreed.
A very good put together car rally.
Yeah.
Redline does a good job. I know we've been on some other ones before.
Yep.
And our guest has been on another one before that I have.
He has. And just to let you know, I think Redline Rallies does a great job because they are very spouse-oriented, right?
Very much so.
Yeah, I mean, all the events and stuff that we do outside of driving is really built around stuff that the spouses would be happy to come on. Now, maybe they're not crazy about how fast we go, but...
Not all of them.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
Not all of them.
But you know what? Today, here we go. We got our good friend Jason coming on here in just a second. But I got to tell you, you've met him before, right? And I met him online and then finally met him at World of Wheels. And gracious enough to give me a great outfit, right? So without further ado, let's bring him on. Jason, what's up, my friend?
Hey,
What is
Jason.
up? How are you? Glad to be here.
Yeah, we're excited. I
Glad
mean,
to have you, man.
yeah. Welcome to our guinea pig show. is what we're going to call it. You're on the hot seat, so we'll figure that out.
Now, you got some really cool stuff to talk about. You've got some really cool stories to talk about, and your product itself. However, you're a big car guy.
I'm a very big car guy.
And we're going to talk about that because the first time I met you was one of these so-called rallies that we were talking about. And this was put on by Express Rally. And it was one of their southern rallies. I had just bought my Porsche Cayman S. I didn't have that thing a week. And I was driving it down there to do this. And it was just, not that I planned this. It just happened that I was going on the rally. I was going to take a different car. And then I ended up buying that. And so I went with that. And then I met you. What were you driving then?
I had a LS swapped S2000.
Yes.
So it was a Honda S2000 with a 430 horse built LS1 Corvette motor in it.
That's
sick.
Was
that car
amazing.
weigh, like 2,000 pounds?
I think it was right around 2,500 pounds-ish, somewhere around there.
Crazy.
right.
Depends
Now,
on how much I ate that day.
Do you know like the weight difference between that LS compared to what the Honda engine would have been?
So 84 pounds.
That's
You
it.
take the motor and the
Wow.
tranny, there's 84 pounds difference between the LS and the T56 versus the motor that was in it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But I guess from what I heard that you don't have that anymore.
No, I sold it.
You moved on to a true V8.
Yeah.
He went on to a purposely built V8.
That's right. That's
which
right.
Which is what?
Yep. So I have a 09 CTSV. So
Coupe, right? The coupe version.
yeah,
right?
yeah. Got the coupe. No, sedan. I have 4 doors.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, I've
okay.
Yay.
My brain just passed gas for a second right there.
I was thinking about the wagon we were talking about earlier, but that's okay.
Yeah,
I
no.
forgot they did come in 3 different models, right?
Yep.
So,
So family car.
yep.
That's what we drove
very-
up here.
very much so,
yeah.
Family
Which is
car
very-
that we just happened to be able to.
Which is very
pass.
great. You got your family. You guys came into town today and been in the city all day.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you do today?
So we went to Legoland. So I have a 10-year-old and a soon-to-be 6-year-old. We're celebrating her birthday next week or this Saturday. So we went to Legoland. Went to, was it Sea Life?
Yeah.
The
something
whatever
like that,
the
Yep.
aquarium thing that's next to it, and then sort of hung out at Crown Center all day today and just.
That's awesome.
Crown Center is a fun little place. Plus, you also have the Science City kind
Yep.
of thing down there at the.
Is it science or is it nature? I think it is science.
I don't know, unless they changed something on me.
Yeah.
They,
It's funny when
I
you
only
live in
in
Kansas
town.
City,
I don't
you
know
don't
anything
go to
about
this
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's like-
But Union
I
Station,
heard about
it's
it.
all so Union Stations. Did you guys walk around that at all? Did you go in there?
No,
It's pretty.
yeah, we went to. Like our main goal was to go to do the Legoland and the ocean thing. So we were very we went and had lunch, and our kids were already freaking out, saying, "When are we going to Legoland?" So we ate lunch real quick at Fritz, where they.
That's a super cool place.
That's why we went
Yep.
to Crown Center, was to go
Yeah.
eat lunch there, and luckily because of there and Legoland, they paid for our parking. So we just kept the car there all day long.
There you go.
Kept walking around
That's
town.
right.
But that was really cool to have, the little train bring your food and drop it off.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. I've only been there once, and it was for a car show. Last year I went, and I'm like, man, this is crazy cool. I mean, it was a cool concept. If you've never been, you need to check it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
So, we are Warriors. Appreciate I got to tell you, the apparel itself, and I've already mentioned this to you, but the quality and everything, it's spot on. I mean, it's comfortable, soft, especially the sweatpants.
You
They're-
gonna model it for us, Chris?
I would.
You're wearing
but
it right now.
I know. I don't have the sweats on. He's got everything on. He's got the shoes. He got the shirt, the sweats, and everything. But so,
Yeah.
what's going on with it? Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you've got, what the reason is, the history behind it, and go from there.
So I wanted to, so I collect hats, T-shirts, hoodies, stuff like that. And I was talking with, this was end of 2021, one of my mentors and really close friends. We were just talking about some business ideas and stuff like that. And I was like, man, I'd really like to just have my own line. And one of the things that he encouraged me on was, if you're going to do something, make it purposeful. Make it be something where it's going to help other people. And so sat down, really thought about it, and it originally started because this is the time when like modern masculinity here in the West was really being attacked. And I wanted to have something that inspired men to be good fathers, to be good husbands, to be strong men, because without strong men, our whole society is going to, just fall apart. So, so I went to my mentor and I'm like, hey, here's my idea. This is what I want to call it. It was going to be called We Are Warriors. And he goes, you know what? He goes, single moms are warriors too.
Yep.
He goes, the nurse, all the different nurses and stuff at the hospitals, those are warriors too.
I definitely agree to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes, you have an idea and a demographic that literally encompasses both male and female. So I went back to the drawing board and was really like, okay, so how do we, what is going to be our goal? Like, what are we wanting to accomplish? And
You have a mission statement.
Exactly. Yeah. So, so growing up, I used to look like Napoleon Dynamite. I mean,
I hope the hair was like that too.
dude, I had like the big red afro. I had like the
It was
big,
freaking
thick,
sweet.
yeah. I weighed like 70 pounds, like the big, thick Coke bottle glasses. It was so bad that I dressed up as a nerd for Halloween one year, like with the tape on my glasses, the pocket protector, and I get to school and everybody goes, how come you didn't dress up for Halloween? And I was just, so I got beat up all the time. Like I was the bullied kid, super smart. Everybody only liked me because I could help them with their math homework and stuff like that. But
You were one of my friends.
exactly.
That's right.
But it was, so I was starting to think about, there's kids being bullied in high school. There are our military people coming back and trying to reacclimate into society, PTSD running rampant. We had the Joplin tornado, run through,
Right.
Quite a while ago, but still people living with PTSD from that, and got family members that were dealing with that. So it became something that we wanted to be able to do purposeful, saying, you know what, you're not alone. You have what it takes. Like, you can overcome.
Yeah.
You can conquer everything that that comes at you every day. And we wanted to serve as that reminder. We wanted to be that that cry in the wilderness that says, you are a warrior. Because I know when I wake up in the morning, if I'm not intentional about how I do my day and I just let it go, then you're just like, just frazzled throughout the whole day.
Yeah.
But if I can wake up and I have something that reminds me that says, you know what, I can kick today's butt. I can make it through, no matter what I've got to face, I'm going to overcome. I'm going to conquer. So.
Yeah, and that's interesting because, when I first looked at your apparel, right, it seems to be very military-esque, right? I thought for sure it was mainly built around veterans, that kind of a thing. But learning more about talking to you and learning about what it is, it struck home because, granted, we're wearing kind of this attire today, which is more military-esque, but you've got a lot of new apparel that's coming online, right? I know you do stuff for cancer. You do stuff for other stresses that people go through in life, right? To your point. So that's exciting.
We did and we still have some of them available, but we did a breast cancer hat, and part of the proceeds out of that breast cancer hat goes to the National Breast Cancer Foundation.
Very cool.
We actually are getting ready to launch an autism hat. That's going to be super cool. It's black and it's going to have the different colors.
I saw the pre-design.
Yeah,
with the rain or the colors. Yeah.
And then it's got the different colored, the 4 colored puzzle pieces.
Yeah.
All on the bottom of the brim, and then it's got the puzzle pieces on
nice.
the back.
Nice.
And then when we get those, we're going to have youth sizes as well as adult sizes. and then part of the proceeds on that's going to go to Autism Speaks.
That's awesome.
So
That's very cool. Yeah, I can speak with experience with this because that's one of the things. Obviously, we do a lot of the kids, Kids for Cancer, and
Yep.
the geeks, and all that kind of stuff. But
Kids in cars.
yeah, kids in cars, and all those things. But even on the side note of that, that's actually how I lost my mother. In the way you're talking about, she was strong. She, in a sense, was raising all of us kids by herself, and she was the strongest person I knew. And unfortunately, she passed away when I was 20 because of breast cancer. And she battled that for like 5 years, in and out. And I remember even driving her myself, to get her treatments. Having to leave high school so I can go,
Yeah.
because I was the only one around to help her at times. But so the fact that right there, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That is that's killer, dude.
And one of the things is we've actually it's been split between men and women that have bought that hat. Like one of my best friends, he lost his mom to breast cancer, same thing. And he was like, I don't care if it has pink on it. I want to wear that hat
Right.
to serve as a reminder that my mom was
Yep.
a fighter and was a warrior.
Yeah, man, we've got several members in Mod Squad that support the Cancer Foundation. Obviously, whether they went through it, their family members have. A couple of them have their cars decorated. Just bannered up.
Yep.
I mean, that's awesome too. So it's great that you're doing all of that. So where do you see it going? Who are you mentoring? Because you mentioned earlier, right? You've got other designers that are looking for stuff. So why don't you go into that a little bit?
So I'm a part of a mastermind group called the Entre Believers, and they're on Facebook, and we do. So they have a regular page, but then they have a mastermind that's a paid group, and I'm a member of both. But because of the journey that I've gone through in starting a brand from scratch, I went from a drawing on a piece of paper. So all of our first stuff was the Spartan, was our Spartan stuff. So I designed this Spartan logo and designed all my different stuff, and that's what we launched with. So I went from a drawing on a piece of paper to a full-blown product. I had branded boxes, branded bags.
Yeah.
I mean, I went full in, and in 3 months.
Yeah.
So went from website, the whole 9 yards, done in 3 months from
That
a
sounds
drawing
like
on a
us.
piece of paper. So, but I made a lot of mistakes, not from message point of view.
Yeah.
Like we were still doing that aspect of it, but I didn't know how to do content. I didn't know how to, we had 6 designs for the t-shirts and 2 styles of each t-shirt. So we had 12 t-shirts. We had 6 hoodies. We had, way too many variations of product to really launch and start off with.
Yeah.
And so being able to take the things that I've learned through the building process and the things that I've learned in the mastermind group, I'm able to help those that are now coming into the mastermind group.
Oh, that's cool.
And
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, here's what my logo. What do you think of it? And
Right.
I've built enough. I have enough credibility because of how we've grown to be able to go, hey, I like this, and I'm able to share the knowledge that that has been passed on to me. I'm able to pass it on to
Nice.
to those next people coming up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So when you had so many different designs, and you're thinking, well, I got too much stuff to launch at one stuff. So ideally, what you kind of did was you kind of backed it off and simplified it.
So I
I'm assuming.
rebranded the whole thing.
Okay, and then so early release or first release type of stuff is just simplified, one kind of a spectrum of things instead of all this different stuff going all over the place. It allows you to build and grow and then build, and now you can start adding a bunch more stuff later on.
So what we did was I wanted to make it more powerful. So, we have, the fabric material, all that stuff is great quality. It's soft, like you were mentioning earlier. Like you want to wear it no matter what it says on it. Like it feels great. But I want people to go open up their closet and go, okay, Nike hoodie, Adidas hoodie. Oh, I got to wear the We Are Warriors hoodie today.
Yeah.
Not because necessarily they they're going, today sucks. I need to wear this to remind me that I can overcome.
Yeah, not because they had to change the oil in their car.
Yeah, you know.
They used the Nike hoodie for that one. Yeah.
But I mean, I want them to genuinely want to wear the clothes. But I wanted the message to be powerful, and powerful for not just, like I said before, you know, oh, my day sucks and I need this to get through the day. But when they've overcome, like when they have conquered that, whatever they're struggling with, that becomes their victory banner, that victory flag that they get to wear. So we wanted to create something that was people wanted to wear no matter what, that they could wear and get the encouragement and the inspiration that they needed to, but also wear that same piece of apparel when they did overcome. You know, so it was all encompassing, just multi-purposeful. And so, again, going back and talking with one of my mentors and his brother, we try to meet once a month and just go over ideas and business stuff. And we tried to figure out, how do you take your whole mission statement and put it into one word? And that one word was overcome. And then, right before we launched these, the new olive tree set, I was sitting down, and the thing we had on before was, you know, had the overcome on the front, which you can see, you know, which came out with a really cool font. Had the overcome on the front, but it had my big box logo on the back. And something just kept telling me that that's, like, it needs to be more powerful. And so I went up and I was like, I saw one of the other people in our group had one of their new hoodies, their new designs, and it had a bunch of words on the back, a description of something. And I'm like, let's look up the definition of overcome. And I went through like 30 different definitions, you know, all the different definitions out of all the different things online. And I found one, and it said, verb to defeat, parentheses, an enemy to prevail. And I'm like, that's it. So I took my logo off the back. We have it little on the hem.
Yeah.
But on the back of the hoodie, like when we were at the World of Wheels at the car show, I would turn that hoodie around and people would just go, I have to have that. Like,
yeah, they see the message, which makes it night and day difference.
Yeah, and it was so amazing to see, you know, because when you go through and you've already had a whole line of stuff and you rebrand everything and you're like, okay, what do you think? And people are just like, I don't want to have that. I have to have that. Like, I need that.
Yep.
That makes the whole difference out of everything.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, that's really cool. I am a sucker for a good hoodie, though, I will say.
Yeah.
I will say, you know.
I might know somebody.
Yeah, I know somebody.
Well, here's the thing.
But, you know, but speaking of which, I mean, your buddy, I mean, speaking of good friends, and this just tells you that people know that you're just, you've got a great message, you've got a great work ethic, all of that, right? For a friend to turn around and allow you to use his Lamborghini to market, that's huge. Why don't you talk about it a little bit and how that came about?
So this is my mentor's car, and we were at a rally. Going back to rallies,
yes.
Most of my
rallies.
best things happen on rallies.
It's funny how all that comes around, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Isn't that when we started working together, Chris?
Yeah.
Was on
Kind
a rally?
of, yeah.
So not all things are good.
But
then,
it's
huh?
funny that everybody has that same. It seems weird that if you're in the car community, you seem to find people that have that same passion
Oh, for
around
sure.
what they're
Oh, for
talking
sure.
about.
Oh, yeah.
I do want to say barn finders or barn find fabricators, they said well said from how you explain things, and it said that we need this positivity today and every day.
Yep.
So
Thank you.
can continue with the story
Yep.
now with your mentor here.
So we were on a rally and we were talking about, you know, hey, how's things going? And he goes, you know what? He goes, I want to help you blow up this year. And he goes, let me do this. He goes, I want to design. He goes, I'll pay for the design. I'll pay for the materials. And then one of my best friends, Blake Nagurn, owns Just Wrap It in Joplin. He goes, he goes, if you and Blake will put it on for free. Well, I broke my foot or my ankle, so Blake did all the work. But he goes, if you guys will put it on,
Blake.
he goes, I want to do a full We Are Warriors wrap on the car. Now, this car already had an amazing, super, super, super expensive wrap on it. It was a one-off, three-dimensional, like it was absolutely unbelievable. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, dude,
You sure?
You don't have
sure?
a picture. You don't have a picture of that, do you?
I don't
Because
have it
I don't think
before,
people are going to
but
understand. the
yeah.
difference.
I wish I
Okay.
did, but
That's
yeah.
all right. That's all right.
Real quick rundown. So it was all this design and it was put down. Then the wrap was put over the top of that. And then they went in with ink and drew in all the black and then distressed it all with alcohol. Like it was
amazing.
it was absolutely
It was
insane.
a very in-depth wrap.
Yeah. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, dude, you've got all this money in this wrap that you already have. And it is like it's won awards. It's been on, all over everywhere. And he goes, dude, what you're doing is more important than this wrap.
That's awesome.
And I'm like,
That's deep.
I cried and hugged him. And
I hope you wiped the snot off your shoulder.
Yeah, right. Did you? Yeah, there you go.
So,
You don't leave snotty shoulders on people. You know?
But the apparel line is amazing, right? You just did
absolutely.
a photo shoot too, right? So I'm going to play a little bit of that while we're talking. You can talk over it if you want, but
yeah. So this photo shoot that we did, really, I think where we picked to do everything. So this was done in Joplin, and we did a bunch of it under one of the really old, dilapidated bridges where the homeless people are, and you've got some of the graffiti and stuff was all where the dark alley, the back alley type stuff, and as we were doing the filming and the pictures, I was just sitting there and I'm like, it's so interesting because here we are in the darkest places of the city.
yeah.
This is where all hope is lost, despair runs rampant. This is the darkest place of the city. And here we are doing a photo shoot talking about overcoming.
Yeah.
Trying to bring light into that darkness. And, just us being there, there wasn't anybody around, but just us being there, I feel shifted the atmosphere.
No, that's cool.
And that was one of the things when we were at the World of Wheels this past couple weeks ago. One of the things that people kept coming up and telling us was, what's going on? What is this? And they're like, because every time we see somebody leave your booth, they have a smile on their face.
Yeah.
They were they're like, everything around here is just the whole atmosphere is different, And it's because we're inspiring people. People are leaving here, whether they got product or not. They're leaving here with hope. They're leaving here going, somebody cared. And,
and I think a lot of people related to it because I tell you, we were filming and shooting photos of the booth, and there were people that had been there they're just hanging out for a half hour. They're not just buying stuff. But they're buying stuff, but then hanging out, listening to other people tell their stories.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was pretty amazing.
So that was our very first show.
Yeah.
Very first pop-up. And I didn't know what to expect. You're at a car show selling clothes. You're
Right. Exactly. And it's not really car-oriented material.
And it's
but,
not even,
yeah.
I look down the aisles and there's, Rat Fink t-shirts and Hot Rod t-shirts, and they're selling for $9 and $12. And I'm selling a $60 hoodie and a $35 t-shirt. And then I'm like, okay, all right, let's see what it does.
Yeah.
But to have people number one, I don't go to a car show to go buy clothes. I don't go to a car show to go
It's a little different. Yeah.
tell some guy at a clothing stand my whole life story.
Yeah.
Both of those things happened all weekend long. It was so amazing. I mean, we had people as soon as we started into this is who we are, you could see tears well up, and then you could see those connections just just start going.
And it
was
wasn't
awesome.
even just you, because even your
My parents were there.
your parents were there, and they really understood the message, and they really were supportive, which I thought was amazing too. So,
and it was cool that we had. I mean, it wasn't like just one demographic. I mean, we had all races, all ages. I mean, I had a 75-year-old lady that came in and bought a full outfit for both her and her husband. I'm like,
right?
I'm like,
Yeah, you wouldn't think of it.
So it was like it didn't matter age.
Yeah, it's
it
the
didn't
cause.
matter color. It didn't matter. It didn't matter what.
Yeah.
And
It's the cause and the message they're buying it for, not so much the apparel.
For sure.
Yeah. But it was.
But it's good apparel too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like it.
But it's so cool because a lot of stuff,
Chris Rock in the hood.
Yeah. Like when I go and I'm looking at a T-shirt or a hoodie or something to buy, I'm looking at it for what it looks like.
Yeah.
Like, oh, cool, how am I going to see myself in that? And then if there's a message that goes along with it, like, oh, I connect with it even more.
Yeah.
And this was one of the first times that I have seen, because that's what we've tried to do. That's why I designed this stuff the way that I did. But it was one of the first times that people were connecting with the message first and the apparel second.
Yeah.
Like they loved the apparel, but it was once they heard the message, they just had to have it. And that was so awesome to see firsthand.
Super cool. What do you have coming up? We got a few minutes left, so what do you got coming up? Anything you want to promote? Where are you going to be next? What's your goal?
Yeah, where can people find you too?
Yeah.
So you go to wearewarriorsapparel.com is the website, which brand new website. And then Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok is just We Are Warriors Apparel.
Yep. I know if you Google We Are Warriors, you're the first thing that pops up, no matter where it's going. So
Yep.
That's good. And for ones that didn't make it live and you're listening to the recording, I wish you were here live, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We'll have the links as well on those.
Yep.
So.
For sure.
So,
anything? What's your next event that you're going to do?
The one that is, I forget what the name of the event, but it's one that the KC Showdown guys are putting on April 30th.
Yep, we'll be there. That's a good partner of ours, Denny. Denny Eddy and his wife and their family. I mean, they put on some great shows, and we're always part of them. So we're excited. So we'll see you there.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep. I think
definitely.
my wife's going to go with me on that one.
That'd be awesome.
She's all excited.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've got more questions about the CTSV though.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, come on.
You got 1 minute. Go.
So you've got. Let's see what we got. It's an 09. Mm-hmm. What was the rating on that? I mean, what's the stats on that one?
I want to say it's 550. So
and
it's the
what
6.2 liter supercharger.
Okay.
It's the first year of the V2.
I got you. Okay. Now, future mods?
Nope.
No, you're gonna leave it alone?
Yep. My goal is I want to buy an R8. So.
Good man.
I'm gonna
go Audi.
I'm gonna leave the V for my wife.
There he goes.
My actual goal is once I buy another family vehicle and I get my R8, I'm actually going to give my CTSV. I'm just going to give it to my dad.
Oh,
He
good.
wants it- he wants it
Yeah,
real
that's
bad,
awesome.
so.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the first time the CTSV
Let him take the
came out,
grandkids out in this in the sedan.
I went to some GM event, and it was. I went to it twice, but it was the first year. They just released the CTSV, and it was crazy to see a Cadillac not only with a 400 horsepower V8 in it, because it was the same engine that the Z06 and the C5 had.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Only with 5 less horsepower. Because heaven forbid it had more than the
You
Corvette.
can't have a Cadillac outdo a Corvette.
It weighed
But
1,000 pounds more. but-
Yeah.
Yeah. But it had 4 doors and it had a manual transmission.
Yep.
And it was the craziest thing. And I'm like, I fell in love ever since to then. And I still like that first gen. It is really cool still.
Yep.
But to see them just get bigger, better, faster.
Yeah.
The V3s, 700 horse.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Goodness gracious.
They're crazy.
Goodness gracious. So I've always been a fan. You picked a good car. And like I said, we had, 3 of them on the last rally we were on? One of them was the wagon.
Yeah, we had the wagon. We
Wagon's
had
you don't see that one very often.
No, we've always had the sedans or a wagon. We've never had the coupe.
None of them was the coupe then? Was there? Or
No,
Nope.
no, there were the sedans and the wagon.
Can't win 'em all, I
never a
guess.
coupe.
Oh, well.
I kind of always liked the coupe. Back in the Orange County Chopper Day when he had
My
it.
car's a coupe.
Oh, well,
I've got a buddy that's got a coupe.
Actually, I have a.
You
I
can
have
fit
a
wider
sensible
tires on the
hatchback.
back.
I have a
coupe.
coupe.
with chickens in it.
I have a coupe. Yeah, it's at Chicade's. It's still there.
It's French.
That's true.
No,
That's true. Well, Jason, you know what? Appreciate everything. I mean, if there's
Absolutely.
anything else you want to throw in, please let us know. Happy to have you back. I know you got a lot of fans and everything listening online, so big shout out to them for being supporters of you. I think it's a great cause. I think your messaging is spot on. And again, your apparel is not just has something behind it, but it is great apparel. It's not cheap. It definitely quality. So
yeah, it's quality with a message. There we go.
Yeah. I know Corey wants to keep stealing mine, so we might have to hook up somehow, give him something.
Well, look, there's 3 things I'm into, and it's bags, jackets, and shoes. He's got 2 of those.
Anything you come out with plaid, he'll buy.
So the shoes, I do want to say this. So I have, if you go to the website, click on the shoes, there is a join the wait list. I'm only making 50 pair of the shoes. So they will be a very, very limited run.
Yeah.
They are very awesome.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at them underneath the table. Why don't you take one off and show us?
Yeah, you
real
might
quick.
as well.
Yeah.
Show people what they're.
Show what it's about.
So they are, I designed them based off of a Nike Dunk. So
Yeah.
but they are, so suede, like real suede. You know, they even have like the WAW. I don't know if you can see it right there.
Yeah.
go.
Oh, that's cool.
There we go.
They come in.
I don't think Jordan's had it on the bottom of the sole, did they?
So
Yeah,
they come in they'll come in a custom shoebox with the WAW all
That's
in
cool.
like.
Your branding is spot on too. By the way,
That's
love
been I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even has the WAW tissue paper inside. Comes. I mean,
you got to save the tissue paper and frame it.
Well, so but for the olive for this colorway, we're gonna do 50 pair only, and once the wait list fills up, which I think it's 3/4 of the way there. So we had a whole bunch of people when we were at the show. I brought mine and set them up.
Yeah.
And once people got to see them live, they were just like,
Where are
freaked
they?
out. Yeah, they're like, can I?
Right.
They were like, can I just buy yours?
Right.
No,
Yeah.
you can't buy mine.
What size are you? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
They're
There you go.
I'm like, these are a 10. They're like, I wear a 10.
That's
I'm
awesome.
like, yeah, well, you can go join the wait list.
I don't, but I'll make him work.
Yeah. But no, we appreciate it, honestly.
Yeah, we
Happy
do.
to have you back.
Absolutely.
Glad your family had a great time coming into town. So happy. And we'll see you in April
Yes.
for the KC Showdown event. We're going to have them on and probably promote it a little bit as well. So,
Perfect.
Corey, what do you want to go into, or you just want to kill it off? Because, we're a little over
First thing I
time,
want to
but-
say, thank you for everybody watching.
Yes.
I want you to like, share, and subscribe. Comment some more. If you didn't catch it live, you can comment on the uploaded one. So greatly appreciate it. And everybody that was in here today. By the way, Wheels just said, great guest. That must be you.
Yeah. Or it could be me.
Maybe it was you.
Could be me.
With the outstanding message.
Thank you.
And so, great show, Mikey. I think this is a thing they say, isn't it, in showbiz? The great show, Mikey. I don't know who Mikey is.
I don't know. I've never heard that before, ever.
I don't know. Maybe I just made it up.
I think you did.
I don't know, possibly. But I think that's it. We signing out for the night.
I think we're done, my friends. Hey, everybody, again, appreciate everybody listening online. And, of course, to Jason and his family for coming in, talking about their projects. Open to anybody. Reach out to us if you're interested in being on the show. We are booking out pretty quick. We do it every Thursday night. I think we're already past May now, booked up. But
that works.
Lots of
Whatever
great
kid.
Kansas City community. And doesn't even have to be Kansas City. We can do
No,
remote.
it absolutely
We can
does
do all
not.
kinds of stuff.
We are more likely going to be traveling a few different times throughout this year and going to many other cool little places that
be
have
awesome.
cool automotive things going on. But hey, other than everything there, I am Corey Pratt.
I'm Chris Ruck.
That's Jason over there. And to all you cravers out there,
Keep craving.